Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Paisano TV. I'm your host, Omar Lopez. I am very excited to have you guys here with us today. Today, we're going to get into some very fun candidate-based interviews, and it's going to be amazing. So I hope you guys come and join us for the ride. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce Magdalena, who is also known by or goes by Maggie, Mo, and please tell us. So what are you running for, the district and area?
Good morning. My name is Magdalena Barrañón Mo. My friends call me Maggie. Me llamo Magdalena, pero mis amigos me dicen Maggie. And I am running for the Whittier Union High School Board Area 2 for trustee.
Cool. Let's settle in and have a little chat. I want our community to really get to know who you are, your goals, and just overall view of how you're running and the way that you want to handle things. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into the fun part, shall we?
Absolutely. So I'm running a grassroots campaign, which means that I am running for the people, for my community. To me, every student matters. Every child deserves a proper education. So to me, every child deserves a good education. It's important for me that we mentor our children, that we teach them to dream, not just they must plan, they must dream to be able to have a clear path to education. I see that more in our community. I'm so excited as a student leader at California High School. I'm involved with 40 to 50 students. I mentor them. They're with the Interact Club at California High School. They're all college bound. 40 to 50 students that are college bound for the first time in the history of their parents' lives. And to me, that is so exciting. I want to continue to see more of that.
That's awesome, actually. I really like that. Just to go more on into you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and just like how you came up to be in this position?
That's a very good question. So I am the daughter of immigrant parents from Mexico. My father is from Rio Blanco, Veracruz, and my mother is from Canaclan, Durango. I was raised in Murphy Ranch, which is right across the street from Lucerna. It was a Hispanic community, and I was raised there. And I think that from a very young age, I just became an advocate, teaching people how to speak English, how to, working with the community, understanding. My mother could not speak English, so I was always a translator, in my house or for my parents when I went to school. But when I came to Rio Hondo College, I came here as a student government. I came for student government, and I actually became an advocate. And my job was to get that children's center on campus. And it was very interesting because I didn't even know that I was an advocate, but I rallied the whole school to make sure that to let everybody know how important it was to get a children's center on campus, not only for the education of young women, but young men as well. And it didn't happen that year, but it happened the following year. So that was very exciting to me. I lived in East Whittier for many years, and there I was a mom for baseball. I was very involved in being a volunteer in the baseball at Murphy Ranch. And to me, it was very important not only to support the all-star baseball players, but also the children that couldn't hit. It was important to mentor all of the children so that one day they could understand that they could do anything in the world that they wanted to. And, that was really a beautiful thing to do because many of those children, I see them now as adults. And I want them, I believe that they remembered me as a kind person, who always rooted for them. And we have to root for every single child because every single child matters and they can go places, but we need to let them know that. We need to tell them how wonderful they are and that they could do anything in the world if they want to. So I became an advocate back in 2016 after coming back to District 1. And at that time, I lived in the barrio, in the neighborhood where we have no resources whatsoever. We're almost like a community where we don't have a children's resource center. We don't have a library. We don't have anything. The city never fixes our streets. And so I became an advocate. And in 2016, we were going to be able to vote in districts. And I was excited because I thought we're going to finally get a representative, a Latino representative that's going to represent the neighborhood. But it wasn't about getting a Latino representative to represent. It was about getting a good representative, because it doesn't matter what color you are. What matters is what you're going to do in that position. So back in 2016, we were able to vote in districts, and I became an advocate, and I joined the movement, and I've been in politics, grassroots politics, to make sure that we have good representatives. I think that it's very important to have good representatives, not a political machine about associations and corruption, about helping the community. That's what's important. I think that there's a huge disconnect with a lot of these people, and what they need to do is they need to get to know the people. So I love going door to door, and I like talking to people, and many times I find out that they have problems. I'm able to solve their problems right there and then, and that's what people want. People want representatives that are responsive. Es muy importante tener representantes que se apuran de la comunidad. Ellos quieren una persona que van a ayudar a la comunidad. No les interesa un montón de políticos o asociaciones. Ellos quieren personas que van a ayudar a la comunidad, que van a ayudarles con los problemas que tienen con sus hijos, con la educación, y eso para mí es muy importante, ser una persona que responda a la comunidad. So, yo le puedo asegurar que yo les voy a dar buen servicio. Cuando usted tiene un problema, yo voy a estar ahí para resolver ese problema. So, in English, if you have a problem, I will be there to resolve your problem, because I care, because my community is very important to me.
Wow, well said. If you were to be elected as trustee, with all these goals that you have in mind, if you were to be elected, how would you advocate for equity in this entire institution?
Oh my God, equity is so important. When the money is distributed for all the schools, every single school should have equity. You can't give, if $60 million is given to the schools for music and art, then it has to be equally distributed. This happened in the city of Whittier, where money was given to all the schools, and the only school that didn't get any money was Frontier. Frontier High School is a continuation school. They're the students that need it the most. I am an advocate of music and art, and I believe equity is important for all students. The same thing is with the classes and the programs that they have. They have a beautiful program at Pioneer High School, and it's an Escalante math class. I want to see that Escalante math class that is sponsored during the summer in all of the schools. We have a beautiful class, engineering program at Whittier High School. I would like to see that program in all of the schools. At California High School, oh my God, we have all these business academies. We have all these type of programs, and I think that many of those programs should be offered in all of the schools. Equity is very important because every student matters. Para mí, es muy importante que tengamos programas en todas las escuelas. Tenemos unos programas excelentes en unas escuelas, pero no en otras. Todas las escuelas deben de ser igual, y cada estudiante debe de tener la oportunidad de ir a su escuela en su comunidad y tener una excelente educación. Eso es muy importante para mí. Equity and representation for all students is very important. That's how we're going to mentor our students. We need to give every student an opportunity to do well. If there's an engineering program at Whittier High School, we should have those programs in other high schools as well. At Pioneer, every student should have equal access. And I don't care when people say, well, they could transfer to another school. Why do they have to transfer to another school if that school is closest to where they live? Sometimes people don't understand that we have economical, social problems, or maybe our parents don't drive, like my mom didn't drive, and so those are critical problems. Maybe they don't want to be bused far away. So I think that equity is super important for all students, because they deserve to have the best education and equal opportunity.
Wow, I actually really like that. To go more into the students, because you were going on that, it actually perfect follow-up for my next question. What are some challenges that you see or experience that students are having, and how would you address them?
So Right now, we have a big issue in our Latino community. 49% of our male students are graduating with D's and F's. That is not acceptable. I do not care that the school says that we have high graduation rates. What is the point of having high graduation rates when our male Latinos are graduating with D's and F's? That is not acceptable to me. So for me, investing in our children's education is very important. It's important to have investment in our classrooms, not only for our students, but for our teachers, our wonderful teachers that give our children a good education. I am advocating that we have vocational classes in high school, such as welding, plumbing, air conditioning, graphic arts, so that our students are employable. They can get a certificate in high school, and when they leave high school, they can be employable and they can continue their education and they could become entrepreneurs in our community. Every student matters. So not everybody is college bound, and so we need to prepare our students to be able to be employable. No todos los jóvenes van a ir a colegio. Tenemos un problema muy grande. 49% de nuestros estudiantes, los latinos, hombres, están saliendo de la escuela con muy malos grados. Eso no debe de ser. Tenemos que preparar nuestros hijos con una carrera corta en high school. Ellos pueden soldar, pueden tener clases de plomería, problemas de electricidad. Hay muchas cosas, muchos trabajos que ellos pueden hacer y cuando salgan de high school pueden tener un trabajo bueno para que no anden en la calle nomás sin nada que hacer. Ellos merecen un buen trabajo y aparte de eso ellos pueden estudiar y pueden ser dueños de su propio negocio. ¿Sabes que un plomero gana más de $100,000 al año? Pueden hacer muchas cosas buenas, pero tienen que tener una carrera corta. Eso para mí es muy importante.
Eso también sí es importante por todos.
Sí.
Pero something else that I'd like to ask is, what does transparency mean to you as an elected official?
Transparency to me is very important. When we have I belong on several boards, and I'm a board member for the Whittier Regional Symphony. I'm a board member to the East Whittier Arts and Educational Foundation. I am a member of the Whittier Sunrise Rotary, past president. Transparency is very important. When there's a problem, you must identify the problem. You cannot sweep it underneath the rug.
Right.
We have to identify the problem. If we have a situation where we have many of our Latino males are graduating with D's and F's, we need to identify that problem and we need to put programs in place to solve that issue. Same thing with the budget. When we have a budget, transparency is very important because as a board member, we are elected by the people. And so we need to know how much money do we have. If the budget keeps changing, then we're not going to be, as board members, we're not going to be able to do a good job to decide where the money should go and where is it best suited. So to me, transparency is very important when it comes to our budget. Not only do we have to have a transparent budget, but I believe that we need to have an audit every single year so that we know exactly where we're at. We have a lot of laws right now, or a lot of policies that are outdated that need to be remedied. They have to be fixed because some of those policies that we have right now are old and they could cause a lot of problems for students if they're not fixed. So to me, bringing everything up to date, having a good budget is very important, and also being transparent about the problems that we have. We cannot be afraid. If we have a lot of problems with drugs in our community, and we need to solve those issues. We need to have resource centers. If people are dying of fentanyl at our high schools, are we going to cover it up? We should cover it up. We need to have Narcan on campus so that if there is an emergency, we take care of it. We could save lives that way. So being transparent and open is very important. We cannot be ashamed or be afraid because we could teach other students, what terrible things could happen, if you get involved in doing things that you're not supposed to do. And we could save lives if we're prepared. If we have Narcan on campus, we need to be open-minded about things like that. So transparency is very important, not only for the students, but for the parents as well. It's very important, to me, it's very important that the parents know exactly where their students are at. Don't tell the students don't tell the parents that they're doing great, and all of a sudden the parents find out they can't read. We have to be 100% transparent.
Well said. How do your values align with those of the institution? Your own personal values.
Well, I was raised in a very conservative home. My parents, like I said, are immigrants from Mexico. I believe that an education is very important, but sometimes when you come from a socially disadvantaged home or economically disadvantaged home, sometimes we don't have the resources, like having cars, being able to get to school. Now we have college, it's free. So we don't have any excuses, So I think that for me it's very important to be able to inform the community. Para mí es muy importante informar la comunidad que tenemos colegio que es gratis para los estudiantes. I think it's so beautiful. So I guess to say, that I was raised where I know that education is very important, but it's also very important to be able to do something that you love, because when you love, if you're not college bound, but there's another subject that you like printing or welding, and if you love that, then you should pursue that. Because it's important to be able to do something that you love.
Right.
So I hope I answered that question. I want to say that to me education is very important. It is, but not all students are college bound. So we have to take care of the ones that aren't, because every student matters. Cada estudiante es importante para mí.
Nice. Now, just to pretty much wrap things up, is there anything that you would like the viewers to know? Maybe something you did for fun on the weekends, or just how do you spend your free time when you're not advocating for education?
Well, I love music and art, and one of the things that I love the most, I was asked to be a board member on the East Whittier Art and Educational Foundation, and they asked me, Maggie, could you work Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? And I said, sure. So I went to the art gallery. We have an art gallery in the city of Whittier, which was established in 1937, and the children's artwork is at the East Whittier schools is selected, and that artwork is put into the art gallery. It's displayed at the art gallery. So then the young people, the young artist comes, and he brings his grandma and his tia and the whole family, and I say, oh, are you the artist? And he says, yes. And I go, oh, can you show me your artwork? And then he runs to show me runs to show me the artwork, and then I go, oh my, I go, that is so beautiful. I said, can I take a picture? And they say yes. So then I take a picture, and then I tell them, do you know that it's a great honor to have your artwork displayed at the Whittier Art Gallery? And then I tell them, I go, you could put that on your resume when you go to college. Do you know that was such a beautiful experience for me, to be able to welcome my community and to say, Señora, pásale, está en su casa, and welcome, please come in. It was beautiful to be able to welcome my community, and I didn't understand how important it was to mentor our youth that way with art. And then we had young people that were 10, 11, 12 years old playing the violin and playing the piano, and they entertained all of us. So I just realized the importance of music, the importance of art is a great way to mentor our children. It's a great way to mentor our community and to bring our community together. And to be honest with you, it just changed my whole life. And I'm just so proud that I'm able to be in these boards, because this is my way of bringing my community together. Bringing my community together en inglés y en español es tan importante a poder atraer toda la comunidad. I also have dreams of bringing folklorico, mariachi to the community, because I think that the Latino community and our diverse community, we need to really come out, because we're here, and we're here in big numbers, and it's important for us to get involved in our community and to teach our children, to get involved, to mentor our children, to tell them how great they are, and to let them know that they could do anything in the world that they want to be, because a happy child is a successful child. So those are some of the things that I enjoy doing. I love, I'm a person in my community that if there's a problem, people call me up and say, I got a call from the church, from Roberto, Señora Meggy, tenemos un problema. What's the problem? And then they tell me what the problem is, and my job is to resolve the problem. And so I'm known in the community as somebody who likes to identify problems and to get things done. And I will continue to do this on the board with involving the community and actually bringing our community together, you know, and not just being a board member, but actually being a board member that cares, somebody that cares about every single student. Our great students and our students that are not, you know, we can turn them this way and they will be, every student should be successful. That's what's important to me. I want to bring a legacy of caring, of making sure that every child gets a proper education. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, this concludes our interview. Thank you, Magdalena Mo, and for taking your time out of your day to come with us. And yeah, just overall, thank you, and good luck in November.
Thank you so much.